Welcome to Workplace S.O.S. I'm Donna Sand.
And I'm Evan Marcus.
And we're here to give you practical solutions to help alleviate stress and anxiety in the workplace. Today's situation is something that's kind of new and current. Well, part of it's new and current,
right.
And some of it could be not so new. But these new workspaces where everybody works in this communal big room.
The open workspace.
The open workspace.
That's our situation. And in particular, a move to an open workspace.
Yes.
Although this could relate, you're already in one.
Right.
And actually, you can use what we're about to share with you, any move to a workspace. Mm-hmm. And we think part of it relates to when it's not your choice.
Yes, exactly.
But today we want to focus on the open workspace.
Yes. So you're used to having a cubicle or your own office, and now you're moving into this big open workspace where everybody's going to be around you all the time.
Right.
I could see where that might get some people worked up with
yes.
some symptoms, feeling anxious, maybe feeling a little bit trapped. I don't have privacy. Everybody's always watching me. A lot
right.
of comparisons. Evan,
yes. Yep.
You know?
And I'd say some of the symptoms that we know people feel
mm-hmm.
are, what are people going to think about me?
Right.
Am I talking too loud?
Mm-hmm.
Are people going to overhear what I'm saying? These are the thought type things.
Are they going to be judging my performance?
Right.
Because everybody's watching me do
I
my
don't
job?
like this. Why do they do this to us?
Yes.
All that,
Mm-hmm.
And then the physical, sensations that we often have are the typical ones. It could be a tightness in your throat,
mm-hmm.
racing feeling, and unsettledness in general
yes.
in your body. It might be, for some people, it could show up as headaches or sometimes feeling lightheaded.
Yeah. Or sometimes they get that your vision, you can't focus. Like there's
right.
all this action around you and you just can't seem to get your eyes to focus.
Yes.
I've experienced that one myself.
Yeah.
So now we go to give you here some thoughts or phrases that can help you when these symptoms and thoughts come up to sort of redirect, change your thinking. And like you said, working on the cognitive functioning of the mind.
Yeah, and we're not, this SOS, Workplace SOS, we're focusing again on the thinking part. We're not about changing the situation.
Correct.
It's because so much what we've learned is so much what creates these symptoms
mm-hmm.
and sensations are thoughts. And sometimes we're not aware of those thoughts. They just are habitual. And so this process starts to target those thoughts and replace them with more positive thoughts.
Correct.
And also redirects how we react in these situations,
yes.
which also helps reduce the anxiety and stress.
Right. This isn't about fixing anything. This
right.
is learning how to deal with
yes.
a new situation.
Right.
So the first phrase we're going to share with you, or mini mantra as I like to call them, is when you're working with a group of people, there's a lot of personalities.
Yeah.
People do irritating things. They don't do things to irritate us.
All right, let's repeat that one because
yes.
that's a great one.
People do irritating things. They don't do things to irritate us.
Right.
So that person next to you is tapping the pen.
Right.
Are they doing that just to get to me?
Right.
Or no, they're just doing it because that's what they do.
Right. And what's important about this one is because unknowingly we start to not only take the action they're doing, we think they're doing it to us.
Yes.
We might think they're doing it on purpose. They don't like me. And that extra thought
yes.
added on to the activity, that extra thought that they're doing this to me starts to crank up that dimmer switch and increases the tension in us, which
yes.
is what we feel in those symptoms and in those thoughts. And so by using this phrase, okay, they're not doing it, doesn't mean they're going to, but when you realize they're not doing it to you,
right.
It's one of the ways we start to turn that.
Yeah, change our attitude towards
yes.
the situation. The second one is that people who tend to experience some nervousness or anxiety just don't like change in general.
Right.
Whether it's a good change or negative change, there's still a change. So there's
right.
still that uneasiness that comes
yes.
with it.
Now, what's cool about when you start to identify this, all right, okay, you say to yourself, okay, I tend to worry, I'm a nervous person, I get anxious, I don't like change. Nervous people with these type of symptoms don't like change. When you say that to yourself, you realize it's like identifying, oh, that's what's causing it. Then you can kind of alleviate your mind from, I don't like that person, why did they do this to all those other
right.
thoughts. You go, oh, that's why I'm feeling this
yeah.
way. And obviously what that means is after a while you get used to it, you'll
yes.
feel better.
Yes.
Turns the dimmer switch down.
Yes. And that's the next one, now that you say the dimmer switch is work it down.
Yes.
Just the more we talk about it, you may go home, I have to go to this new workspace
yes.
with your family, I don't like it, our friends on the phone, you're calling your friend, can you believe they're doing this to me?
Yes.
You're working it up. You're now
right.
cranking that switch
yeah.
up.
Yes.
You want to work it down. You
yes.
want to just bring it down. Maybe if somebody asks you about it, just give them the, well, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
You know, don't keep thinking about everything that you think it may be.
Right.
And even if it's not going well, don't continually think about how it's not going well.
Exactly.
You
And
have to
part of,
bring it
and
down.
we see this all the time, anyone can do this. One of the ways you work it up is you're going, can you believe what they're, now,
Yeah.
it's not just the conversation, it's the body language,
is.
it's the tone, the emotionality that you're putting into it. You don't realize you're actually creating more stress and anxiety when it's putting fuel on a fire.
Yes.
And not only do it once, you're doing it a second time or a third time. Every time you're reliving it, you're turning that thing up. So working it down are all the things that start to, speaking in a more calm tone, deciding, I'm not going to talk about this.
Yes.
I'm going to focus on my work. I'm not going to complain about it. If there's someone I need to talk to, I will, but I'm not going to. So all the different ways we can learn to work it down.
Yes. And to that point, too, is when we talk about working it up, workplace SOS and these phrases that we're giving you is not a replacement for maybe talking to an HR representative or maybe talking to a therapist about
Right.
it. You know, this is just a tool to help. It's not in replace
Right.
of.
Yes.
So I wanted to make that.
Can I cheat and add a fourth one today?
Sure, go ahead.
We can say anything in a cultured manner.
Yes, that's a good one for this one.
And what that means is that I can go to someone who's tapping their finger or their thing in a nice way. I could say, Donna, can I ask you a favor? When that, you may not be aware of it, but it's hard to work. That's different than getting mad at you or making a face or all those other things that are uncultured. And what's one of the most important things of this process, people learn how to communicate with each other in cultured ways.
Yes, exactly. Instead of just working it up in our heads and then holding resentments against that person.
Yes, again, that's part of the working it up versus
yes.
working it down.
A good point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Donna Sand.
And I'm Evan Marcus.
And thank you for coming to Workplace SOS today. And if you have any questions or any situations you'd like to share with us, please feel free to send a question in to Why Not Spot It, our YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's a comment section, and please subscribe to the Why Not Spot It, and you'll see a whole bunch of these.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.